Hey guys, how's it going? Richard here with Alien Bros. I have an insane UFO sighting to share with you guys today. I can't even put into words how incredible this sighting is. This sighting was reported to MUFON, and I will leave the MUFON case number down in the description so you guys can check it out for yourselves. This footage was caught in Cincinnati, Ohio by a man named John Rogers, and just, oh boy. You guys can see for yourselves. I'll play the clip now and I'll talk to you guys about it afterwards. After that, I have a few more amazing pieces of evidence to show you guys, so be sure to stick around. Now, here's the video.
Hey! I'm here at Highland Ridge Avenue at the Amazon Flex warehouse, and I am videotaping UFOs. My name is John Rogers. Hey, y'all seeing this? Look at this. Look at the UFOs. You don't see them? Now there's UFOs. They're moving all kinds of crazy. They're doing flips and shit. They all just disappeared.
And this sighting is just plain flat out amazing. There are at least 7 or 8 of these things, and they are making all these crazy random formations and choreographed moves in the sky. I have no idea what these things could possibly be. These things look much too large to be drones, and I have never seen drones, or any conventional aircraft for that matter, make these sorts of maneuvers and float in one spot like that before. Now, in the witness's statement to MUFON, he wrote, "I noticed one bright light at first from the corner of my eye. Once it caught my attention, it seemed to split into 3 UFOs in a straight line. Then another appeared and they formed a triangle. At one point, there was maybe 7 or 8 UFOs all at once. At about the 1-minute mark of the video is when they really start to light up the sky doing some really amazing stuff. It seems like some form of communication. The video doesn't do it justice because I was able to see physical crafts as well. A triangle, a disc, and the helicopters are visible in the video. This was a really exhilarating experience for me, as I have seen lots of footage from different TV series and documentaries, and this followed suit with a lot of the same patterns and scenarios people tend to describe or catch on film. It was shot in phone quality 4K, so the frame rate may not be amazing, but I think it's a decent video capture. The internet is going crazy, as is all of Cincinnati, as I am not the only one to capture this on video. The news publicly stated that there's skydivers performing a show for University of Cincinnati's football team, but I don't buy that this is what I saw. Maybe there are a few skydivers dodging UFOs up there, but skydivers can't move like that, and for them to be that bright would take an amazing amount of energy to project light all across the city. Tell me what you think. Well, here's what I think. Now, what I had to say is that I think the witness is entirely right about these things not being skydivers. I have never seen a skydiver show where they were able to do any of the things that these crafts were doing. Usually, skydivers will use flares to put on these types of light shows, and there is no way to make simple flares act in this capacity, nor is it possible for skydivers to make the maneuvers that these crafts were making. The only way it would be possible is if the skydivers were somehow able to fly and levitate like some sort of superhero, and we all know that that is impossible. Plus, the amount of light they were giving off, as the witness said, was simply insane since it lit up the entire city. Nobody seems to be buying into the skydiver story, and if you ask me, it is just a cover-up, and you guys can make your own decisions on this though, based off of the evidence, and let us know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Do you guys believe the skydiver story, or do you think it's a cover-up like myself and many others do? Now, moving on from there, I have something that a friend of mine sent over that he caught on NASA Soho. He has a pretty brand new YouTube channel, and his channel name is Travis Van Gogh, and I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description. He has a great channel where he has posted a couple of very nice recent UFO sightings. He's new to this YouTube thing, but doing a great job, so show him some love and throw him a sub. Now, for those of you that do not know what the SOHO stands for, it means Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, and is a satellite that studies and monitors the sun 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The images that he sent over to me appear to show a disk moving around the general area of the sun. It appears to be closer to the satellite than the sun, but with space it is not quite possible to tell due to depth perception. We would likely need some of NASA's radio telescope tech to tell. We examine these images as thoroughly as possible, just like we do with all of our footage and evidence that we receive, and in our opinion, this thing appears to be either a disc or a cigar-shaped UFO. It appears to have some curve to it, although I think it is likely a disc, but a couple members of my team appear to disagree and think it could be a cigar shape. I think this thing had some curve to it, at least for what it looks like to me, so I think it was probably a disc-shaped object, but that's just my opinion. I'll let you guys form your own opinion on it. Also, I would like to point out that whatever this thing was, it had to be huge. This thing compared to its surroundings and perceived distance shows just how enormous this craft had to have been. The last image, there is a clear glitch in the satellite feed, however this does not mean anything, and the craft has moved away from the point of the glitch while also still being as clear as the earlier photos taken before the glitch. Now, for those of you that had trouble locating the craft, I'll show you the 4 images again, this time with the UFO circled in black so you can be sure you're actually looking at the right object. I really wish there was a way that we could have gotten a clearer and up-close shot of this thing. But we have seen many of these anomalies out in space and on NASA live feeds and images, so it is obvious that there's definitely some strange stuff going on both out in space and around our own planet. Now, as to why this craft is so close to the sun, I can't say for sure, but I do have a couple of theories. My first one is that it could possibly be absorbing energy from the sun's radiation, or you could say, a sort of solar panel that siphons energy from stars. NASA currently uses solar panels to fuel their rockets so they don't run out of fuel, so it is possible that this craft, if alien, could be doing the exact same thing except on a much more advanced level where it absorbs enough energy or solar radiation from stars like our sun to be able to achieve speeds far greater than NASA's ships do. At least that's what NASA would like to have us believe anyway. We all know that the government has had access to alien technology now for about 60 years, and when it comes to their technology, they love to lie to our faces about it. They tend to make findings and then not tell us about them until a few years later. For example, there were the first images of Pluto that were ever released to the public, and according to NASA, the first ones they had ever received. However, NASA was caught red-handed editing and altering these supposedly new images they received from Pluto that we supposedly received in 2015, but they were found to have been originally taken 3 years before this. This was originally discovered and exposed on a YouTube channel called the Olympus Sky, and I will leave a link to his original video down in the description. He was examining the image data that comes with the images, saying where, when, and what the image was taken with, and found this supposed 2015 photo was actually captured in 2012, which means that NASA was blatantly lying to the public about when they reached Pluto. So we can only imagine what sort of tech NASA and our government as a whole actually has versus what they tell us they have. Most people say that the government is 50 years ahead of the private sector due to 2 reasons, and this is despite the fact that government scientists have the same education as the ones in the private sector. The first reason is that our government essentially has a limitless budget. Now, we do owe trillions of dollars to other countries, however, in economics, they teach that since a nation is assumed to live on forever, that it never may have to pay back its debt since it will remain for eternity. The debt still has a direct impact on inflation and economics, but for us, in the United States government as a whole, that really isn't a big deal since we still have the highest GDP per capita on the planet. Scientists that work for companies in the private sector usually have a limited budget, even though companies like Apple and Microsoft may provide them with budgets that seem rather large, millions, sometimes billions of dollars for product development, which is an insane amount of money. But when compared to the budget of our government, it is minuscule. For example, do you guys remember back in August of 2016 when the Pentagon came out and said they had supposedly lost $6.5 trillion and had no idea what happened to it? That money had to have been spent on black projects that the government refuses to acknowledge the existence of. They know where it went, they don't just lose $6.5 trillion. It's much like how they refused to acknowledge the existence of Area 51 up until 2013, even though you could drive right up to the base's entrance and for a while actually see the base from Tickaboo Peak before they expanded their borders. That is the sort of budget our government gives their scientists for use in black projects, and it is far greater than any private company could ever dream of providing for such advancements. The second reason is that the government does not need a return on investment or ROI. When it comes to private sector companies that employ scientists to create technology, they have to see a return on investment in order to make the investment worth it. This severely hinders what private sector scientists are capable of producing. We often get technology from our government that they created and allow the private sector to have once the technology becomes obsolete to them. For example, this is how we obtain GPS tracking systems. Our military utilized it for a long time and eventually found better and more advanced options. They do this when they feel the tech would benefit the economy without endangering national security. There is a third and very obvious to most ufologists reason as to why the government is so far advanced, and that is that they are reverse engineering alien technology. I myself, just like many other people, believe this to be true, and the evidence certainly does point to it. That is why I believe they are hundreds, if not thousands of years ahead of the private sector technology-wise. It seems that our government may be well on their way to disclosure considering the current signs that are popping up in the news and all over the place right now. They seem to have been doing lately what seems like prepping the public for it. For example, there was the thermal video taken by a fighter jet of a UFO that made the news recently. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, I'll play it for you now so you can see it for yourselves.
Dude, there's a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like look at that thing. It's rotating.
And the Pentagon also claimed to have recovered some metal alloy from some of these UFOs, which they said scientists currently cannot identify. This seems entirely out of character for the US government and has me and a lot of other people thinking this may be a sign that they are prepping us for disclosure on the alien phenomenon, and I think it might be coming sometime in the near future. They had claimed to stop studying UFOs when Project Blue Book ended, but we all know our government can't be trusted, and the Pentagon revealed that they were still studying the UFO phenomenon up until 2012, and with the government's track record for telling lies, they likely still are. Okay, so moving on, I have two more UFO sightings to share with you guys. The first one has me a bit on edge with its validity, and I'm only sharing it so I can get your guys' opinion on whether you believe it to be real or not. This is another MUFON case captured in Fort Collins, Colorado, which I will also leave the case number 4 down in the description. If it is real, it may be one of the best pieces of evidence that has ever shown up in the world of ufology. However, I am not getting my hopes up, and neither should you guys unless you believe it to be real and can provide evidence to back up why you feel it is authentic. The image you are seeing now is a picture submitted by the witness along with the video that he took, which I'll show you soon. If it is a hoax, then please explain how the guy did it rather than just saying it is fake. I want to know the actual reason you guys believe it is a hoax, if you do at all, so that I can recognize the method and use it in future videos to pick apart these sorts of videos more easily. I don't think it is CGI, but I can't say for sure what it is, just because, well, you guys will see for yourselves. First, let me give you some context on this sighting by reading you guys the witness's statement to MUFON, and the statement reads, I drive a truck from Colorado to Wyoming 4 times a week. I take a break returning from Wyoming, usually sit at this spot on Highway 287 at Ted's place. I took a short nap, and when I woke up I saw multiple craft in the valley in front of me. I grabbed my phone and I tried to get pictures, but it was too dark and the camera kept shutting off. I pulled out a digital camera and it kept shutting off. After about 5 tries, I started recording the video. The same craft were there every night for weeks, but seemed to move west towards the mountain. I believe they were searching for something. The sightings were about the same time every morning. There were many craft from real small to larger ones like the one in the video. And now that we have the context out of the way, here's the video itself. You guys can probably see what I mean now about why I'm not so sure about this one. It is dark and there isn't much to go off of but the lighting and details of the craft, which are somewhat illuminated by the craft itself, and it does make it look like an extraordinary sighting. If this is real, then this is the first authentic UFO landing footage that I think I have ever seen, and possibly may have ever actually been captured by a normal civilian eyewitness. This is either a complete fakery or the most amazing evidence of UFOs maybe ever captured. I will let you guys decide. Leave your thoughts on this down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about it. Okay, so I have one last short clip to share with you guys. This was yet another case reported in MUFON from Claremore, Oklahoma, which, just like the other two, will have the MUFON case number down in the description. This one seems legitimate to me after researching into the camera that it was captured on. I will read the witness's statement before I show you the short clip to make sure you guys understand the context of the sighting. The witness's statement says, "My coworker recently installed a surveillance camera on her front porch to make sure no one steals delivered holiday packages. Aforementioned surveillance camera is called the YI home camera and is activated by motion and then sends a short video of any captured movement. Generally, it catches either cars driving back and forth down our street or cats. It shoots color during the day and black and white at night. But on 12/2/17 at about 5 a.m., the camera sent 3 videos to her. 2 of them were just of her porch so brightly lit that you could see nothing but light, and she thought maybe it was someone turning around in her driveway with their brights on, although it did seem much too unusually bright for that. But she thought nothing of it and deleted the first 2 until she watched the 3rd video of the UFO and immediately sent it over to me and told me about it at work. So I asked her permission and she said it would be alright for me to share it. Alright, now that that's out of the way, here's the footage. I'll play it twice to make sure you guys actually catch the UFO because it's relatively short and I didn't catch it at first myself. So, I have no idea as to what this could be. The camera seems to have captured it in frames, and the craft does not appear to be an airplane, and I do not know of any drones capable of flooding an area the size of this porch in light, as though it was coming from a car's high beams. Definitely some weird stuff. It seems like UFO activity is seriously ramping up lately, just like I've been saying in my past couple videos. I think something is going on here, and we are going to get to the bottom of this no matter what it takes. Let me know what you guys think this thing could possibly be down in the comments. I truly have no idea, and that's why I love having you guys around, because you can help me and the team figure out this sort of stuff, and we truly do appreciate it. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, but stay tuned because there's a lot more coming and we will have it posted very soon. If you liked the video, then please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, share it, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. It really helps us out, and it'll let you guys stay up to date by sending you a message straight to your inbox every time we upload a new video, and you can stay on the up and up with all the latest alternative news. If you have some UFO footage or evidence that you would like us to feature on the channel, then please email it over to us. Our email is down in the description, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to us. We love having you guys around. Seriously, we mean it. Don't forget to browse the channel if you're new and get yourself up to speed. As always, I'm Richard with Alien Bros, and I'll see you guys again next video.